by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're working side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We're healing side by side, side by side, side by side, side by side. We get there side by side.
Welcome back, everyone. We welcome you, whoever you are and whomever you love. We welcome you whether you ran in on little feet, walked in briskly, ambled in with cane or walker, or rolled in with heels of wandering. We strive to let you be you in your religious life and hope you join us on our principled journey called the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Topeka. For announcements, first of all, we have a new microphone and a new microphone system, so anyone that comes up here, per David, do not touch the mic, or you will hear about it. Also, Jean Ryan has auction tickets available. That is coming up soon, March 19th, so it's sneaking up on us. And Rob had a couple of announcements that he wanted to add as well.
That always happens. I still haven't figured it out after all this time. Welcome, everyone. It's good to see you in person this morning. David, can I make a slight adjustment here? No, all right, forget it. As Janine mentioned, we do have a transition to in-person services, and hopefully we won't have to return to Zoom. It's always a possibility. We can't see down the road what could happen. With that transition to in-person, the program committee has been working diligently, as you probably aware of, to put on mostly Zoom programs over these last months, last years. And thank you for the program committee. In addition, though, we do have several duties. For instance, Jeannie will talk about our offering this morning. We'll need someone to fill in to collect an offering. We have not had a chance to get with the board yet to ask where this money would be put. So we'll have to get with them. Chairs need to be set up, perhaps. A lot of things, a lot of ancillary things that need to happen to put on an in-person service that we will appreciate everyone's help with. For today, we'll just collect the offering. Jana and maybe a helper has agreed to do that. Thank you, Jane. Thank you. And I think Janine mentioned that the programs are being recorded and have been recorded for YouTube. It's live streaming on YouTube, as well as being a normal YouTube recording. There's been brought to our attention that some people may not want to show their face while they're being during talkback, or their voice. So be aware if you do not want to be on YouTube or not have your voice on YouTube, then you may want to refrain from participating in the talkback. Thanks, and it's good to see you.
Our first Sunday. Oh, another announcement. From Oshara coming up? Okay, from Oshara.
Good morning, everyone. I had mentioned something to Carol, and she's like, "Get up and announce it." Well, I am right now. You know how we did work with the Poor People's Campaign a couple of years ago. A lot of work at the State House. So for the next few months, we're organizing folks to go to Washington D.C. to go to National March on Washington. And so I've been hired as a state organizer to organize the state of Kansas, my daughter and myself, and that's what we're doing. So I just wanted you all to know that I will be in contact with you all to see how we can work together to organize to either help to get fill buses up from Kansas to get people to DC and just work together as community. So thank you so much and bless you. Thank you.
Our first Sunday programming group decided that this chalice lighting would be our running chalice lighting because it seemed appropriate for us. Prayer for living intention. If we have any hope of transforming the world and changing ourselves, we must be bold enough to step into our discomfort, brave enough to be clumsy there, loving enough to forgive ourselves and others. May we, as a people of faith, be granted the strength to be so bold, so brave, and so loving. That's Joseph Cherry. Our joys and concerns today are a mixed bag. First, we have a display here to show our solidarity with Ukraine. We want to point that out first and foremost. Leah Pine is having surgery tomorrow, another surgery, so please keep her and her family in your thoughts. Jean Ryan had a birthday yesterday. I don't know if she's in here, but happy belated to Jean. And her brother is also in the hospital, so we have both for her. I would like to say a joy that the CDC changed their mask recommendations and lessened them a bit, and as a result, Margot, my first grader, had her very first day of school where she didn't have to wear a mask because she started kindergarten in a mask. So 2 years, she's never been in school without a mask. So it was just, it's a sign of progress, and it was exciting for us. And that's all I have, unless anybody else has a joy and concern. I see Walt, Deb, you guys come on up. What's that? Yeah, I will after Walt if you want.
Friday marked the first anniversary of the loss of Bill Beachy, and a longtime friend of the fellowship has purchased the vacant lot next to Bill's old house with plans to convert it to a park and donate it to the city of Topeka. So if anybody's interested in helping to participate in that, please let me know. And also, Susanna Emilio has done a beautiful job of indexing the remains of Bill's library. So that'll be available for members who are interested in purchase. Thanks.
Oh, surgery's all out the wazoo. Deb has a knee replacement tomorrow, so also good luck. And and you hope. Okay, all right, and enjoy the after. Okay, and then Janine wanted to come up and say a little bit more about the offering. Oh, we don't have a separate candle, so it's just the display.
I'd like to mention that we're holding Ukraine in our hearts. May there always be sunshine. May there always be blue skies. May there always be Mama. May there always be me. In preparing for services for meeting online, there were many changes and adaptations that needed to be made and practices that needed to be dropped. Unfortunately, some were dropped inadvertently. The Sunday offering of monetary gifts has been one of those things. I have continued, I suppose it did fall to the stewardship chair to notice this oversight. To those of you who have continued to make regular contributions through electronic or paper means, thank you for your faithfulness. For those who enjoy making contributions during a service or need a little reminder, that is still possible. You can go to our website, UUFT.org. There on the right side of the homepage, you will find a donate button. Again, deep appreciation to those who have remembered UUFT still has expenses to survive and to grow. We are actually, this is good news, ahead of where we have historically been in pledge contributions at this time in the financial year. To fulfill our dreams for ourselves and our work in the community, pledge and free will contributions are essential. Thank you for all you do for UUFT, and let us now exercise our spiritual practices of gratitude and generosity. And on these songs that you know, singing is not what we're encouraging, but please feel free to hum, sing in your head, make this part of your practice as well. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Our reading today is from Hope Johnson, One Love. We are one, a diverse group of proudly kindred spirits here, not by coincidence, but because we choose to journey together. We are active and proactive. We care deeply. We live our love as best we can. We are one, working, eating, laughing, playing, singing, storytelling, sharing, and rejoicing, getting to know each other, opening up, taking risks, questioning, seeking, searching, trying to understand, struggling, making mistakes, paying attention, asking questions, listening, living our answers, learning to love our neighbors, learning to love ourselves, apologizing and forgiving with humility, being forgiven through grace, creating the beloved community. Together, we are one. Luke.
Good morning. Am I close? Can you hear me? Okay. We wanted to give a quick overview of responses to our survey. I hope you remember getting a survey via email or whatever. Excuse me. There was just one question on it, and that was something like, what questions do you think we need to explore? And as true Unitarians, nobody really answered quite that question. But we wanted an open question to give people a chance to be creative. I wanted to talk first about resources. Several people suggested resources that would help us in preparing programs. The TED Talks look great. I would appreciate it if the person who suggested them would make themselves known to me, because I was unable to find some of the other resources they suggested. Looking to other organizations, such as the YWCA, was a great idea. Another person suggested discussing popular movies, such as The Help. One person suggested got on the wrong line. Another person suggested that we come up with a list of books and articles to read. We can do that. Our little group will do that and post the list on the website or someplace where you can get at it. Moving on from resources, you gave us some great suggestions for topics for future First Sunday programs like this one. Systemic racism, white privilege, caste, white fragility, and white innocence were all suggested. Those are important concepts. Another group of proposed topics have to do with personal actions, microaggressions, how to talk with Black people without being offensive, how to deal with racist remarks and behavior, how to be a better ally, how to be a change agent. Great topics. And there was interest in hearing more about voting rights, about how corporations deal with racism directed at Mexican Americans in the 20th century, how systemic racism impacts healthcare and education. In future programs, we will be digging into these topics and concepts. We can't promise to hit all of them, but we'll do our best. And please know that you are welcome to bring them up in discussion anytime. The third category of responses to our survey was action. Several people want to use the information we are getting to move forward into action. Some of the people who responded to the survey want to work on changing our Sunday morning offerings and our programming to become more welcoming. Our membership, one person pointed out, is predominantly white, elderly, or at least mature, and cisgendered. If we are to grow and thrive, we clearly need to appeal to a broader range of people than just that group. Our survey responders also want to move beyond Sunday morning. They want us to set congregational goals or unite with other churches seeking action. Now, our program today, we hope, will move all of us forward in thinking about various forms of action.
Peter Morales was the first Latino president of the Unitarian Universalist Association, the national organization. He resigned in 2017, 3 months short of his term, in the midst of an escalating controversy over the UUA's hiring practices and statements he made in response to changes that those policies reflect and perpetuate white supremacy in this liberal but predominantly white religious movement. O Spirit of life and love that lives within us and among us, be with us now. Help us to take our history into our hearts as well as our minds. Open us so that we can feel our past live in us. The joy, the disappointment, the passion, the pain, the hope. Let the past, all of it, live in the core of our being. Let us be humble. Let us be honest. Help us to take instruction from our past, and let us also be inspired. But more than anything, let us feel your spirit, the spirit of deep compassion here among us at this very moment. O Spirit of love and life, help us to know, truly know, that we are your people, bound together by our collective memory and, more importantly, by our shared aspirations. We are not perfect. We mess up. Sometimes we talk too much. Yet we are drawn together by what we love, by what we hold sacred, and by a vision of what we may yet create together. Finally, tender and gentle Spirit, guide us, inspire us, embolden us, for our work, your work, O Spirit, is not yet done.
Lou has described the results of the survey we sent out last month. As she mentioned, she categorized the responses into 3 areas. 1, suggested resources. 2, suggested topics. 3, suggested action for UUFT. The first Sunday team, that you've seen the 4 of us, does not see its purpose to set the agenda for the congregational social justice activities. However, we did not want the feedback about desired action to be lost in the team's future focus. So, what do we hope is the goal? Oh. Okay, there should be one that says, so, what is the goal? Okay, hang on. Almost. Because you don't want me singing from here, do you, Janine? Janine and my husband know that. They do not want me singing from close to a mic. So here we go. So, what do we hope is the goal? It is the task of dismantling white privilege, systemic racism, and promoting anti-racism work. Just easy peasy. So how do we do this? How can we visualize our past and what is possible? What we have decided is to use Dr. Gilbert's 5 approaches to taking action. His work is utilized in the UUA Social Justice Empowerment Program Handbook. In this introduction to his framework, the handbook states, and of course, all approaches to social justice should include an orientation of healing divisions, dismantling institutional oppression, and acting with accountability. Notice that last word, accountability, and how that resonates with the 8th principle adopted by UUFT and under consideration by the UU congregations right now. And here is the 8th principle: the building of a diverse, multicultural, beloved community by our actions that accountably dismantle racism and other oppressions in ourselves and our institutions. So look to the west wall, the sunset wall, and notice the blue tape and all sorts of signs. This is called an idea wall. And as an added benefit, the triangular magnets helping to attach the blue tape were from an activity here a couple of years ago. During that Sunday service, we wrote what we were grateful for about UUFT. Lauren, Lou, Janine, and I put the wall up Friday, and yesterday, Mindy Backus, a recent visitor at our Zoom services who came yesterday for a walkabout and learned the history of us, helped me put up the magnets as the tape was falling. And it also helps that Mindy is tall, so let's hope she hangs in here with us. With this in mind, here are Dr. Gilbert's 5 main approaches to taking action. 1, service. And let me see, so service. Anyway, you can go back 1. So, no, one more now, go, one more. Okay, keep going. Keep going. Keep going. There we go. There's the wall. There's the idea wall. See, there's Gilbert's identified on the wall. And the next slide then should show you there, that circle. That's service. The purpose of social service is to meet the needs of persons in distress. Examples: collecting money, donating food or clothing, tutoring, sheltering the homeless. This is what the blessing box that is so well done by Bobby and David Schaeffer, and and a lot of people are involved. Nancy's involved. A lot of people are. Now, the thing is that if you want to look at how it feeds into helping to dismantle racism and promote, institutional, to do that goal. Okay, okay, well, I'm going to go back to that goal. You don't have to, I'm one. Okay. Healing divisions, dismantling institutional oppression. To deal with anti-racism work, you'd be probably looking at what we're doing more on the east side of town, like Harvesters or Let's Help, where the populations are going to be much more diverse. So we do a pretty good job in service. The strengths of that is doing something in the present. Hungry people are fed, homeless people are housed. When done in an accountable way to homeless communities, such programs are done in partnership with those being served. The challenges: relieving the symptoms does not always solve the problem over time and often has little impact on public policy. Providing information on anti-poverty legislation and opportunities for activism in combination with service can bridge this gap. So it's like that old story about you see a lot of people drowning in the river and you're helping to get them out. Why don't you go upstream and find out why they're falling in? And that's the problem with just service, if you're not going upstream and working at what's upstream. Number 2 is education. The purpose of social education is to educate people about the importance of a social issue. The goal is to inform people about the aspects of the issues, and here's a key one for us: also interpret the issue within the context of liberal religious values. So we got that circle up there. Number 2, the green. Go one more over. Next slide. Next slide. There you go. So that's where that one is. And now go to the next slide, Jake, so you can see the words. So examples for this are the purpose of social witness is to make public by word or deed the convictions of an individual or organization regarding a particular issue. So, participating in demonstrations, vigils, and marches, writing letters to the editor. Lou, your letters are so good. I look forward, when I read a good letter, I always check to make sure it's yours, and usually it is. So, that's an example of witness. When we were involved with the Poor People's Campaign, that was an example of witness. The strengths. People in the community know where we stand on a given issue. At its best, our witness involves partnering with others in the community like Poor People's Campaign did. Challenges. It may be tempting to believe that speaking out in itself will solve the problem. Gaining media attention that emphasizes solutions as well as highlighting the problem can create momentum. Number 4, advocacy. And where's that circle? Yeah, down there at the bottom. The purpose of advocacy is to work through the legislative process to impact public policy. Examples: visiting elected representatives in a delegation, writing letters to elected officials, giving testimony at public hearings. An example of that is when several of us, many of us, it was when Jim Parrish was here as our interminister, went down and gave testimony to the city council about making sure that rights and protections for LGBTQ people were included. And I remember what was noticeable for me is that I was one of those that gave testimony, and I made sure I dressed like I was a little old lady from the most conservative religious community before I came out with my liberal stuff. So that's the old disarming tactic. Strengths. Public policy is to some extent affected. Policymakers can be particularly moved by testimonies from people experiencing hardship and oppression from current policies. It's like what the Poor People's Campaign is going to be doing this summer in Washington, D.C. Challenges. Taking stands on controversial issues can split a congregation. A careful process should be used. The church we were involved with, the UU Church in Sioux City, Iowa, got split over the Vietnam War, because the minister went one way and the congregation, some members went the other. They had not yet come along to the point where he was. So you got to be careful with this one. The last one is community organizing. The purpose of community organizing is to participate in the process by which decisions are made in places of power. The focus is on the power of institutional structures and how that power is used for good or evil. Good or evil. This approach is based on the recognition that individuals have little power to change their situations without the empowerment of groups who know how to organize and influence power. Examples: developing a strong organization, influencing policy and decision makers, holding them accountable. League of Women Voters, yes. So, strengths. Oppressive systems are transformed. Accountability is established. Partnerships are formed across lines of race, class, gender identity, and faith. New relationships are transformed for congressional members. Challenges. Working in coalitions can be difficult and time-consuming. Patience is required. Acceptance or tolerance of other religious views and language can be challenging for Unitarian Universalists. Those of us that believe in the right of a woman to choose her reproductive freedom can be difficult when you then are working with people who differ on that, but maybe share our views on feeding the hungry. This approach may involve more political struggle than many members of a congregation feel comfortable with. The handbook continues. It's important to remember these 5 approaches when structuring social justice programs. No. I got in. I will say, though, the example I would make about education would be the Beloved Conversations is a good example of the education component. And what we're doing here on Sunday mornings. Okay. The handbook continues. It's important to remember these 5 approaches when structuring social justice programs. And these 5 approaches of doing social justice ministry do not exist in isolation from one another. Rather, they are complementary. Ideally, we would have programs in our congregations on specific issues which would include all 5 approaches and are doing away that heal divisions and are accountable to marginalized and oppressed communities. I would add that the size of our congregation after the impact of the pandemic and without professional leadership may hamper UUFT in developing some programs for the task of dismantling white supremacy, systemic racism, and promoting anti-racism work. But here we are. The task of us today is to give you feedback on the feedback you gave us, organize it, and pass on appropriate feedback to the Social Justice Committee and others, and to help the First Sunday team focus on the next steps. This should be a continuous loop. As my husband, who worked on a master's degree on evaluation should always be a continuous loop, but not for the purpose of no action. Now to the activity. We have put that ideal wall up on the west side of the sanctuary with the 5 approaches labeled. You have been given blue and yellow Post-it notes. You will be writing responses to the questions and putting them on the ideal wall under the approach you believe best categorize your response. So, you need blue and yellow Post-it notes. You write responses to the questions, put notes under the approach you think best categorized your response. So you have 5 blue. You do not have to use all 5. You have 5 yellow. You don't have to use all 5 yellow. The yellow is for the second question. So the blue notes. What have you or UUFT done in the past in any of these areas to address white supremacy, systemic racism, or promote anti-racism efforts? Here's my example. For example, Janine and I could note our participation in Beloved Conversations under the education label. There it is, honey. Slide 2, the yellow notes. How do you hope UUFT will be engaged in the future in any of these areas? How would you like to be engaged? Please sign these yellow ones. So either the First Sunday team or the Social Justice Committee could reach out for your input. You are not signing away your life, blood, children, possessions here, unless you want to. But we do want to hear directly from you. And maybe you want to become more active in helping UUFT live up to its ideals and the 8th principles. So it may be just a matter of you think we should be doing this. We'd like your feedback. Where are you coming from? How can you help us understand that? Add your notes to the wall when you're done. There are more sticky notes by the wall if you need them. And then have a couple while you wait. Talk to somebody you haven't seen for a while, etc., and stay tuned. So write your notes, put them up. Blue for the past, yellow for the future. Oh, because we were supposed to change it. Okay. Didn't get that done. I sent that change in late. The reason why I want yellow for the future, it'll be easier to read. The blue is kind of dark. That's why I went blue. True blue to our history. Yellow, sunshine for the future. Does that help? Yeah. Oops. Yes, you did. Right there. Okay, I'm going to give you a blue one. So which ones can we sign now? The yellows. Sign the yellows, because if you have a book you'd want us to consider, a book group, you think, gee, we really ought to start a book group on this topic. I'll go up here so you can hear this. That's why we need to know your signatures. If you're really interested in doing helping start a new book group, specifically addressing how we dismantle white supremacy, systemic, and anytime you get them, go. Anytime you get them written, go. No evidence, no permission required. So, Oh, please don't tell me we're only going to have about 4 notes up there. Please don't tell me that. Okay, we're right. Okay. Calm down. Calm down. Settle down. Settle down. If you have some you're not going to use, hold them up. So I think we ran short on the blues. Vicki, it would be helpful to have directions. Just put the notes on the wall about the questions again. Right. Jay, can you pull up the questions, please? There's 2 questions on different slides. Yeah. Okay. In the past, what have you or UUFT done in the past in any of these areas to address? And that should be on blue. That should be on blue. Sorry. We sent the slides so late, so Jay can then change the colors on these. Yes, and here's Coach Jay. Don't get too hung up on where they go there, just what you think. Some stuff might fit into more than one category, so. Vicki? Yes, I have a question. Okay. Can I go up?
I really don't have any idea what the Social Justice Committee is doing. Could we have just a little bit of a description of what's going on there?
Nancy could do, Nancy, go up.
Well, with the pandemic, we've kind of all been in limbo, as well as the Social Justice Committee. But we have continued with the blessing box, which is filled 3 times a week. I know that at Christmas time, we support the Adopt-A-Family. When Harvesters is up and running, we have groups that go to Harvesters. Oshara, who's been part of our congregation, has been working diligently with the Poor People's Campaign, and she contacted me a couple of weeks ago about a online Zoom meeting with Reverend Barber and Reverend Theo. We just call her Reverend Theo. That's kind of like second in command, and they had how they do their presentations. They have witnesses that address different areas, like there's the poverty. There is how poor communities are affected by economics and climate change, and they're always in the area of town where there are chemicals, things like that. They address justice, reform,
There's a couple of more. I want to say, anyway, there's about 5 of those areas. And now they're gearing up for the march in June, which I wish I could go to. I really, really hope. But that whole campaign is ongoing and progressing. But our little group has been decimated to very, very, very small, like 2. Yeah. Okay. Okay. And let's see. There's probably more, but I can't remember. We always need donations for the blessing box, to keep that going. So I do a plug for that, which can be sent to David Schaeffer.
I want to add on to the work of what the Social Justice Committee has done. They provided a generous grant to the League of Women Voters in support of their voter education program, and I've been really active in that, and I know how important it is because we go into many different communities. Tuesday, we're going to Missionary Mount Zion Baptist Church for the resource fair, and we'll be registering voters. Actually, the League doesn't register any voters anymore because of the law, but we will be directing people to an online website where they can register themselves. So the League is very grateful for the Social Justices Committee in that area. And if you're interested in joining the League, Lana's on the board, Alan Foster's on the board, and there are many others here who are members. I know the Hoovers are. Are you, Walt and Adele? Vicki, you are? Many. It's like almost old home week when you go to a League meeting. So the team will be collecting these, we'll be organizing them in the different areas, we'll be passing on to social justice anything that looks like would be more in their bailiwick. And we're trying, remember, this is a continuous loop. We get feedback from you, you get feedback from us, we get feedback from you, but we're also going to be out of that loop getting some action. And I noticed several people, Janine, this will warm your heart. We're getting a lot of people up there saying, do beloved conversations again. So, gotta pay for it. So, bless you. Stay tuned. Do you have any ending music you want to do? Yes, you do. Come on, darling. Okay. Somebody else.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth, keepers of faith, makers of peace, and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are.